Oh, a lot. Ooh, there's a lot. Yeah, that's better. This way, right? That's better. Yeah. Who's the first one? But you got the sound call. Yeah. Hello?
Hi, Thomas. I guess, Saeed, where do you start with a performance like that? I mean, the goals seem to, all three of them seem to be remarkable in their very own ways. So could you just, I guess, sum up his performance for us?
Yeah, I can. I think it's. I think in general he had a good season so far, but absolutely hit the ground running after this Corona break. But also added extra aspects to his game in terms of arriving more in the boxes. That's an area we've been working a lot on. And I think progressively throughout the 4 games, he's been better and better, also in his touches and last passes and stuff like that. And now, of course, also his finishing. But I also need to praise him for his work ethic. I think he worked extremely hard, and that's of course a demand I have for all my players, but in general also the front three, and they're doing a top job there. But Said, no, he's been good. Now I just need to keep it up. I will prefer 3 goals per match, and that'll make it a little bit easier.
The second goal, it's sort of from where we watched it, it wasn't clear whether it was deliberate or whether it was perhaps a cross that went in. Have you got any from you obviously watching on the opposite side of the pitch? What was your view?
That was definitely a cross. It must have been. Of course, he tried to claim it was something else, I think, but I think it was a cross. If not, it was an unbelievable shot.
Okay.
I need to ask him.
Thomas, where does this result leave your season?
I think in general we had a good season so far, and I think we continue having that with especially if we can add in performances like we've done so far. And we need to put these performances in where we had a lot of hard work, top attitude, where we are confident but humble and always on to the next one. But we are in a good place. Everybody can see that. We have whatever 5 wins and 5 clean sheets, and we score goals, and it just looked like a complete team in many minutes of a game. Not all 90. There's always something to do better. But we're in a good place, and we just need to enjoy the moment and stay extremely focused and move on to the next game.
Will you be watching the West Bromwich game tomorrow?
I don't think I can. I don't think it's on telly. I don't know if I can have a link. So if it was, probably. But now I'm thinking maybe. I think I rather want to prepare for the Charlton game and use my time and what I can affect, and then check the score after. And of course, I would lie if I not hope they are dropping points, but let's see.
Tom, you're obviously chasing the top 2, only 2 points behind West Brom. Is it better to be chasing the top 2, or would you rather be in the top 2 and be the hunted? Which would be the better option?
I must say, I said that after the West Brom game, that I prefer to be in that place, 5 points ahead of us. I think that was always be a much better position to be in. And then there's a lot of clever people who will speak about the pressure. It's the best to be in front and be afraid of losing that 5-point lead, or is it better to be chasing, or I don't know. I just think it must always be better to be in front in general, because unless you know who you are, if it's 2 runners and 1 runner who's behind, is much stronger and he will finish stronger. Of course, unfortunately, it's not that in football, but of course, you also know form and momentum means something. So one thing I know is that we are in a really good place, and we have everything to win. And then other people much judge with Roma and Leeds have everything to win, everything to lose. Somebody must speak about that other than me. And just one thing I just want to add to all of you is that my biggest respect to Wigan's staff and players. Really, really hope that they get through this and they succeed and don't get relegated, because I think they deserve it with a very good season so far, and they already been in a place where they struggled in the beginning of the season. So I can't imagine the thoughts and the feelings that are going through their minds in general. So I really wish the best for them going forward.
Just going back to the aspirations for getting into the top two, I think your remaining games are against teams that are either fighting to get into the top six or actually staying in the championship. And with that, every game now counts to get all those 3 points. I think you touched on it before that keeping that focus is important, but does that add the extra kind of spice or motivation then to be the team coming up against Brentford, who are chasing the top two, and yet you're the team that's fighting either to get into the top six or to even stay in the championship? It must mean that games are having added drama to them, I guess.
Oh yeah, 100%. In general, everybody's talking about that championship is the most difficult league to play in the world, which I think it is, for various reasons. And now we're going into the last 5 games of the season with everything on stake for everybody, which just make it so intense and so crazy in many ways. But I think all of us who works in football, or players, staff, or fans, we love these games, because those are the games that are just getting more and more excited. So we're just looking forward to it, and we're really looking forward to the game on Tuesday. And we are ready, and we're confident. So let's bring it on.
I think this is probably the closest that Brentford have come to getting into the Premier League, or at least they have a squad clearly capable of getting in there. I mean, personally, how do you feel about the pressure of being in that position where you could get Brentford into the Premier League? What does that feel for you?
Yeah, but I think that for me, the pressure is already always about the next game, because I need to make sure that my focus is extremely always on the next training and next game. It's not that I don't have any dreams or ambitions. Of course I have that, but I need to stay so focused. And then in the end of the season, we'll see if we succeed and create that unbelievable magical season, or we didn't, and then we can reflect on emotions and what it will mean to everybody. But now I can only focus on make sure when the lads come in tomorrow, they recover well, we do what we need to do, prepare for Charlton, train well man Monday, and then do everything we can to beat Charlton on Tuesday.
Thomas, I wonder whether you can give some reaction to the fact that you've set a new club record today, first time in history that Brentford have won kept 5 consecutive clean sheets.
First time in history. Okay. I didn't know, but anyway, now we are pleased with that. I think the biggest thing is that we had a big to improve our defensive level this season, because we knew that was the biggest single area that we needed to improve to try to progress and aim higher in the table, because we've been playing some good football last year and the last years, but I just knew that was the key, and we just focused so hard on that and trained it so hard and really did everything we could to improve it. And it's very pleasing that we just look stronger and stronger defensively. I think the most impressive thing is actually the last 4 games we played. I think we've barely been giving anything away, so we look frightening defensively. But we can't drop we should use that confidence and know we're good and know it's difficult for teams to score against us, but we need to do everything we can to keep that level up.